Testing, Chris. Good to go. All good?
Come on, fellas. Matty, let's go, boys. Get it out, they're over, we're done. Hey? Boy, lots of energy. Positive. Here we go, I'm off call. Matty, yep. 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 Straight over and go fast. Yep, let's go. Yep. 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 Come on, let's go. Take it easy. Let's be 13 in there, guys.
It's never too late to improve your strength, balance, well-being and independence. Our Strength for Life program encourages all older South Australians to start moving and enjoy an active lifestyle, make friends, build strength and inevitably age well. Strength for Life sessions are offered in almost 100 locations across South Australia, with new sites opening all the time. Check out the COTA SA website to find your nearest location.
Strength for Life is an individualised program which is delivered in a group setting. We aim to keep older South Australians connected with their community, preventing social isolation and also keeping their bodies strong, flexible, managing falls and keeping them engaged. We're super excited to be partnering with Football SA at this state-of-the-art location. It's a beautiful venue. It will really benefit the local community through the Northfield and Jepps Cross surrounding areas to be able to access Strength for Life. And together we are working to improve everyone's futures.
inside out. Goes top corner and is in.
A captain's contribution for Luke Klimek.
Written in the stars for Nicholas Foucault.
Oh my God! That's another one for Modbury Jets.
It's Fabian Barbiero.
Your NPL champions, Adelaide United.
Good evening and welcome to Apex Football Stadium for round 16 action here in the men's RAA NPL South Australia between the home side Adelaide Olympic and the visiting Modbury Jets. I'm your commentator for tonight, Connie Komitsis, and we'll have a look at the two starting lineups before both teams come out onto the park. For the home team, Adelaide Olympic, goalkeeper number 1, Cosmo Groff, number 3, Roscoe Luich, number 4, Marco Muhahawinimana, number 7, T-Boy Kamara, number 10, Zoe Tsakani, number 11, Abi Mollis, number 14, Binyam Kabede, number 15, the captain, James Polly, number 16, Alessio Benevenuto, number 20, Marco Toriani, number 22, Liam Overall, head coach for Adelaide Olympic, Christy Vengeli. Take a look at the visiting Modbury Jets starting 11. Number 1, the goalkeeper, Ryan Nield. Number 2, Paul Wilson. Number 5, Tim Henderson. Number 9, Hamish McCabe. Number 10, Jesse Francesca. Number 11, Francesco Schmitzi. Number 13, Daniel DeTroyer. Number 15, Giuseppe Machida. Number 17, Lachlan Wilson. Number 23, Dion Kirk. Number 27, Jock Wall. Head coach for the Modbury Jets, Morris Natali. Referees for this match, centre referee is Christian Vidicchio, assistant referee Andrew Kite, and assistant referee 2 is Zach Britton. Alongside me tonight, the voice that is yet to reach the NPL stage until tonight. He has done so previously in a cup game which was live streamed in Port Pirie a couple of months ago. Simon Jimenez, thanks for joining me tonight, but also welcome back to Adelaide in general, mate. What are you expecting from this matchup tonight?
Well, looking forward to it. Thank you for having me for the first NPL bread course. There we go. We had our first word slip up. Broadcast is what I was looking for. Looking forward to it. Two very motivated teams for different reasons. Your smart money, you'd have to say, would be on Modbury Jets, leading team in the comp at the moment. 2 wins over Olympic already so far this year, but coming off just 1 win in the last 5 games, and they're currently sitting atop, sitting 1 point ahead of Metro Stars, and they're actually leading in their game at half-time at the moment, so they'd be very motivated to take away 3 points from tonight. On the other side of the table, Olympic fighting to continue in the NPL next year. Round 16 out of 22, you really want to pick up those 3 points and get off those bottom couple of spots. So we know that a team that has nothing to lose can be very, very dangerous. So looking forward to watching this one play out under the lights tonight. And it's a bit of a chilly one as well.
It is very cold indeed now that the sun has fully gone down, and I have forgotten my jacket and beanie, so this is going to be wonderful. Let's hope the game can warm us up a little bit. There seems to be some sort of little delay as the players are not in the tunnel yet, and this tends to be quite a ominous trend with Modbury Jets. The last few games I've done, I've had to sit here and talk and ramble on for a couple of minutes past kick-off time, but that's okay because it's a cold night, like I said, and I can do something to warm up, but that's all good.
Mind games, do you think, the late entrance to the tunnel?
I know there are a couple of captains out there that like to be the first team out in the race. They want the opposition to come out first. It's just must be a thing that they've done for years, but not sure. Could just be someone not got their socks on yet. I'm not sure. So
someone's adjusting the shin pads.
That's right. But the Modbury Jets substitutions and their substitutes and their coaching staff and supporters, and you see Matt Mullen and Liam McCabe, who are not playing tonight. They're out here, so Not sure. If we're betting on this one, we've got to say it's Adelaide Olympic holding things up, don't we? Because then no one's out here yet.
That's true. That's exactly right. Clear bench at the moment. So you mentioned Matthew Mullen serving suspension from last week. Came off pretty early in the first half. Got a couple of yellow cards within a few minutes from each other. So didn't see that game myself, but I'm sure it would have been fireworks at about 20-minute mark last week.
It certainly was. I actually called that one last week with Alessio Carocci, who was on that game with me last week, and it was an absolutely fiery start, and it's probably what you expected from two of the top teams last week. Ren Nagamatsu, the league leading marksman, was sent off after, I think it was 15 minutes, and then Matt Mullen picked up 2 yellow cards within 5 minutes and saw himself in the change rooms as well. So
you got to even the score, don't you? You can't have a top of the table clash and have one team go, one person extra just 20 minutes in. Sportsmanship.
I'm sure it was all about sportsmanship. We're joking. No, as we can see, the coaching staff from Adelaide Olympic and their substitutions coming out to take their place on the bench, and I'm sure Christian Vidicchio is pacing up and down that tunnel trying to get the teams out, and there comes the music. So that normally means we're not too far away from seeing 22 players enter the field. So an intriguing matchup we've got here tonight. We've got two teams at total opposite ends of the table. Modbury Jets with 28 points sit at the top, whilst Adelaide Olympic sit in 11th spot with 14 points. As we see referee Christian Vidicchio in his red kit tonight with his 2 offsiders lead the players out. Modbury Jets will be playing in the yellow. Adelaide Olympic in their blue as the home team. Before we get to the start of this game, just want to touch on something which we still continue to do here in the NPLSA, especially as respect to the referees. Referees are what hold our game together here in South Australia and all around the world in football, which is why a new initiative which has been launched a few weeks ago now in Football South Australia heavily encourage all to respect the ref. This new initiative implores all spectators, players, coaches and club staff to respect and appreciate the time, effort and energy that goes into being a football referee. Our junior referees will be wearing orange armbands to signify that they are under the age of 18. But this campaign is about protecting all referees. To learn more information, please visit Football South Australia website. We serve a minute silence. I'm unsure what that is for, Simon, but it's always good to hear a pin drop when there is a minute silence.
Yeah, well, the spectators here that have broken the cold tonight, respecting the minute silence there. And we're a little bit late for kickoff by my watch. I think we're about 7 or 8 minutes behind, but getting ready to get things started here at Apex Park.
Just gives us more time to talk to each other, mate. We haven't seen each other for a few weeks, so
it's been a while since we last met, a couple hundred k's north of here.
James Polly, captain of Olympic, awaits for Jesse Francesca to come shake his hand and the coin toss. While we're waiting, we'll update some scores from earlier today. Start with the NPL games that are going on. Adelaide Comets 0, FK Beograd 1. That is half-time there. Adelaide City 1, Adelaide Raiders 1, that is also half-time. And Northeastern Metro Stars 3, Adelaide United 0 at half-time. Adelaide United in recent weeks loving to be behind by the looks of things and then wanting to come back. So they've done that a few weeks in a row now. And the earlier game today, which I called with Shane Robinson, Croydon Kings managed to win 2-1 against Para Hills, which puts them into the top 6 for the first time this year. This game obviously has no repercussions of too much. If Adelaide Olympic win, they're still in the relegation zone. If Modbury win, they stay top. Simple as that. If they lose and Metro Stars win, Simon, what happens?
Well, Metro Stars already 3-0 up in their game, so you'd favour them to hold on to that, although we know the dangers of speaking too soon. So, absolutely, Modbury Reds will want to get 3 points away to hold on to that top spot.
As Christian Verdicchio is almost set to kick us off, we hear some blaring music turned off, and away we go here at Apex Football Stadium. Adelaide Olympic will be kicking to the right of your camera. Paul Wilson facing his old side, gets an early clearance there, and Modbury Jets straight away on the attack, and young Cosmo Groff has to come out and collect that one ahead of Hamish McCabe. Adelaide Olympic looking to play out from the back, and Toriani now plays Roscoe Luich, who finds Overall and wins a free kick. So infringed by Machida there. Luich switches play to Muhaha Winimana, goes back to his goalkeeper, who does not want a bar of that and gives it straight back to him. Finds Tsakani in the middle of the park. Tsakani come on last week to score one of Olympics' 2 goals in their 3-2 loss to Campbelltown City. So an early good couple of touches for him to get his team a free kick there, Simon. And he turned that cup game on its head a few weeks ago that you actually watched against Northern Demons, didn't he, Tsakani?
Yeah, it was a really interesting game because it was one where all the Demons looked like they were able to match for parts of the game, but sort of showed the difference in skill of the 2 teams, and Olympic just didn't let them off the hook when they did make mistakes. So that was a fascinating one. But so far here we see Modbury Jets already putting a fair bit of pressure on Olympic.
It's a total different level, isn't it, that game we saw compared to what we see. Well, obviously the Olympic struggling in the league, getting some results of late, but
they weren't struggling that night.
No.
Had plenty of legs, and yeah, especially deep into the game, that you could see the difference in fitness as well. Obviously you have to take into account as a home game for them.
Sakani in on goal, an early chance. Great ball by Polly over the top, the flag stayed down, and an early corner for that man Sakani, causing havoc already.
Well, we touched on Olympic struggling, but probably the first chance of the game looked like a shot on target, and they'll line up for the corner here to have a crack at a set piece.
As we touched on a few times in the broadcast here at Apex Football Stadium, it's Roscoe Luich on the corner. Normally it's James Polly swinging it away, but they've changed it up this time. He's going to swing it in. And it does go deep. It goes to the back post. Toriani headers it back. Kamara can't get onto that. Molas wins the header. Kamara mops it up. Toriani now releases Overall. Overall back to Toriani. Not a great pass. He has to try and win it. He does. He wins it ahead of Machida there. And then they end up all the way back to James Polly. Muhaha Winimana wanting options. Gets an option, and that's not a late challenge, but a rather cynical one.
And Overall still on the floor at the moment. He's holding his knee, and his face is telling the story that he's in a bit of pain there. He's got a bit of medical assistance coming out to help him out. He was a player that was really impressive against Northern Demons in that cup game as well.
It was quite a rash challenge by Jock Wall there. He has stayed down and is still down, so hopefully he's okay to continue on. Seems to be some concern around the back of the knee, calf region.
And the break in the game stops the momentum for Olympic, who looking quite threatening there in the last couple of minutes. Had that shot on goal, the corner, managed to retain possession there. moving the ball around really well.
So overall, he's back to his feet now, and as you said, they were probably looking to get that in a lot quicker and maybe play short. But look, now Polly's come over to take this free kick with such a delay, so he's going to swing this one in now with his left foot, and it's going to be right on goalkeeper Ryan Nild's head, you would expect. Mind you, Rusko Luic has now come in a closer position, so whether he plays it to him, no, it's going to go directly in. It goes to the back post. It's a good ball into the box. Wilson wins the initial header. Nild comes and punches away. So a couple of early threats for the Modbury Jets goal, as overall seems to be all good to continue here below us. And Polly gets into the box again. Can he get the ball in? No, he can't. His cross shot, whatever that was, goes out for a goal kick.
You mentioned Polly's ability to swing the ball from left to right before, and the fact that he usually takes those corners. We saw it in that free kick there. He curled it really nicely, and Nild had to be strong with the punch away to the sideline.
So Modbury Jets regain Tim Henderson tonight, who you can see is partnering Paul Wilson in that back four, or the two centre-backs at least, as Matt Mullins out with suspension, but Henderson was out last week with somewhat of a groin injury. He mentioned he couldn't quite get up to the game, so as we now see the linesman or the assistant referee on the far side go down, hopefully he's okay. Didn't quite catch what happened there. We get to see that again though. He looked like he may have been cleaned up by, or pushed into the fence, was he? Yeah, he was. Oh, he's been pushed into the fence and he's hit his, looks like he hit his chest or his stomach on the rail of the fence. So
the snap back of his head was what probably looked the most concerning there, and he's got a lot of players around him checking on him at the moment, so initial signs aren't great.
The Adelaide Olympic trainer has run straight over there to offer some assistance.
We did see an incident to a ref a few weeks back. Again, we're talking about Port Pirie up at Northern Demons. I wasn't there for that game. Did you happen to see it, Con?
No, but I got a phone call from my father who was there, because obviously my brother plays, and he told me, well, it's not funny. It is, but it's not, because he's okay. But
yeah,
the referee was hit in the head by the ball and knocked unconscious. Couldn't actually officiate the senior game afterwards, as we restart with Zakani. Looking to run amok tonight is Joy Zakani. Finds Mollis, who finds Overall. Overall, can he get the cross into the box? No, he can't. He gives it back to Mollis. Rusko Luic on the ball now. Looks to thread that one through to Kabede, but Captain Francesca for Modbury Jets, who scored an absolute ripping goal last week, managed to find the top right-hand corner down at Smith Partner Stadium, so he can score goals from midfield. Ken Francesca. Just asking Overall to take that one back a few metres. Whoa, and that's another corner going to be in the favour of Adelaide Olympic. So the long throws, and Sakani's offering a bit of support up there for Binyam Kabede tonight. And he's causing a bit of trouble, Simon, early on.
Well, despite a couple of stoppages early, seeing more of the momentum behind Olympic at the moment.
So Polly is on duty tonight. He's going to swing this one in. He does do, and that's a great delivery to the back post, and it's gone there. Takani Toriani couldn't get the header. He bounced inside the 6-yard box a couple of times, and
Neil caught in a really concerning position there for a moment. He was in front of the ball relative to the goal, but fortunately got out of jail free there. It looks like the ball's going to come back though.
He's been given a sigh of relief there, because I think the linesman's put his flag up for an offside. I think Toriani's half attempt at shot at goal might have been in an offside position there. So we restart. Machida, Mollis, battle, Shamitsi, Polly now wins the header. Kamara, his little touch finds Kabede. Kabede now tries to reverse back to Kamara, but it's Dion Kirk there to win that ball for Modbury. He gives it straight back though. So a bit of a sloppy start from Modbury Jets. Adelaide Olympic having majority, if not probably 90% of the possession early on. Rusko Luic finds Kabede. Henderson comes across and does ever so well like normal. So Tim Henderson straight back into the... Oh, that's a late challenge by Tsakani there on Henderson. And he's not happy.
As you mentioned, possession mainly going Olympics' way at the moment. They seemed content moments ago to play the ball back, find the most appropriate wing and try to find a target up front there. And so far, they managed to keep the ball in the right half. Now a bit of chance for Modbury to build some momentum from the back.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's exactly what Morris Natali will be after. He'll be after some sort of composure here from his senior players on the ball, as Kirk, one of those senior players on the ball, gives the ball straight back to Olympic, and that's Toriani who picks it up. He goes across goal dangerously. Fortunately, good enough. Roscoe Luich now to overall. Quite a dangerous pass there from Toriani, but it worked. And it's T-Boy Kamara now on the ball. And he's given some space to run at his defenders, and he does do. Finds Sakani, who gets a little bit of a kick there from Paul Wilson, who's probably given him one back for what he gave to his teammate in Henderson earlier on.
I was on the edge of the seat moments there when Olympic decided to opt to pass the ball.
Sakani with the outside of the foot! Sorry to cut you off, but he's turned and nearly rifled that into the top right-hand corner.
They turned that into an opportunity really quickly, that nice pass straight through the guts. Olympic not really looking like a team that's currently in the 11th spot, playing the top team at the moment. Plenty of momentum behind him, looking really threatening.
Dion Kirk on the ball. Plays that one through for Lachlan Wilson. He can't get there ahead of Moha Winimana.
We've seen a couple running races on the right wing for Modbury Jets playing out already there, so I think that's going to be an ongoing speed test all night long, I think, to find what happens on the right wing there. You think if they've got an opportunity, it's going to come from that right-hand side.
There's a couple of quick players on both sides, isn't there? It's got a couple of young players too, which is great to see. As Toriani, a man from Como in Italy, but that ball there from, nearly found its way through for Shimitzi, who is
long and threatening straight down the middle.
Francesco Shimitzi, the leading marksman for Modbury Jets, with 9 goals so far this season. And I guess when you look at the two teams on the table, Simon, you look at the ladder positions and the points and the goals and everything like that, and you look here and you get Shimitzi with 9 goals and McCabe with 8 goals, and you look to Olympic, and their 2 strikers have scored as many as one of them from Modbury. So
I was looking at the top list there, and yeah, I think it might have been the top 20 goal scorers, and there was 9 in Olympic to be seen there. So, but again, I said at the start of the broadcast, a team that has nothing to lose in the relegation zone at the moment, they can be very, very dangerous. And so far, they're probably looking the more dangerous of those 2 teams, although you get the impression that if Modbury Jets find one of their targets going long, especially on that right wing with that speed that they've got, things could turn around very quickly.
Certainly can. Football's a funny game, and I've learned my lesson a few weeks ago by saying a game's over when Modbury Jets actually went 4-0 up against Adelaide United, and Adelaide United come back and drew 4-4. So these games are never over until that final whistle goes, which sounds straightforward, but it is what it is, as Overall gets this one into the box now. Back post delivery. And it has to be put over for a corner by Detroit. So, again, Adelaide Olympic doing all the major attacking, and Modbury Jets struggling to sort of put a few passes together, if we put it that way. But another corner.
There wasn't anyone to receive that cross from overall, but it was in a really dangerous position. Had someone been going in with a bit of momentum and speed, that could have been a very vulnerable spot for Modbury Jets.
Yeah, Polly did get there, but Detroit had already nodded it over the bar, and that's probably why, because if he let it go, Polly was there to pounce on that. And again, we're going to see the in-swinging corner. So Rusko Luich to deliver. Can he find a teammate? It's on the spot. Sakani's there again, wins the header, but it's only into the back of the Modbury Jets players. And it's cleared by Dion Kirk. And there's a couple of Modbury players maybe feeling the effects of this start, whether they've been in knocks or picked up an injury, but Giuseppe Machida there was limping for a few seconds.
13 minutes into the first half, it's definitely looking like Adelaide Olympic have all the run so far.
Which is strange when you look at the ladder position, isn't it? But as you said, Zakani's running amok tonight. He's really into this game. Benevenuto now releases overall again. Another cross, attempted cross into the box, goes out for a throw in. As Machida still limping away. And another free kick for Adelaide Olympic. So Christian Verdicchio has had to do a lot of officiating so far, and it's all been free kicks or plays for Adelaide Olympic, hasn't it? Which is quite strange. Like I was going to say before, when you look at the ladder position, these two teams are far, far apart from each other. And if you were coming to watch this game as a neutral, you would actually think that Adelaide Olympic are a top 2-3 team, given the start they've had. And it's going to be Polly again, Simon.
That's right, and he'll swing it from left to right.
And that is another great delivery from Polly. Finds Kabete at the back, well, not at the back post, but on the penalty spot. He can't get his header on target. It goes out for a goal kick.
I'm counting about 4 decent attempts at goal there, and we're only 15 minutes in, and Olympic, as you said, not really favoured. But more on that, it was only a few weeks ago that they played in the cup round. In that particular game, it was only one goal that separated the two teams in the end, and looked like it came off a deflection from the keeper for Olympic as well. So, bit of a low-scoring affair in that one, in contrast to their game earlier this year, which I think ended up 3-2 the way of Modbury.
Roscoe Lewich now. And that's just far too easy. That there by overall. He beats Wall, who's caught in no man's land. Kabete. Yeah, touching on that previous result, Simon, in round 5, it was Modbury Jets 3, Adelaide Olympic 1. So Hamish McCabe, Francesco Shabitzi and Liam McCabe were the goal scorers for Modbury Jets, whilst Mamadi Kamara, who's actually on the bench tonight, was the goal scorer for Olympic. But as you mentioned, 2 weeks ago they played in that semi-final in the Cup, and it was a 1-0 result. But Adelaide Olympic didn't even do this much attacking in the 90 minutes, let alone they did. I'm going to go back because I've just stuffed that up completely. But the 90 minutes they played, they probably had maybe 1 or 2 chances on goal. They've had nearly 5 or 6 here in the first 15 minutes, and they finished that game strongly. And they've started this like they did finish that game a few weeks ago with all the attacking, and it was Modbury Jets who came away with the 1-0 result. But this game here, certainly on the other hand at the moment.
Well, you mentioned earlier the youth and the speed that they've got about them tonight, and maybe that's been the difference. Maybe they've learnt from that in the last encounters. Overall gives it away from the right-hand side. Olympic still in possession as it goes out.
Modbury Jets will look for that sucker punch, though, with maybe 1/2 chance as Mahawinimana goes up and competes against Kirk. It's Francesca looking to repeat the dose from last week. Not afraid to pull the trigger from distance is the captain, Francesca.
A shot from well out, worth taking a crack, though, and that, by my count, probably their first actual shot on goal.
And it's probably more of a shot in anger, if anything, from Francesca. He saw the space open up, but it wasn't really ideally what he wanted. Mind you, he was left for space. He had space within 5 yards of him and just opted for the shot. And this is Henderson now winning that one in the air. Wall. Francesca goes all the way back to Wilson. Polly intercepts that one. Nearly cut off by Shamitzi there. Roscoe Lewich. Switches all the way to Mahawinimana, whose control isn't the greatest off his head. It actually goes over his head, and now he's forced to retreat all the way back to Cosmo Groff, the goalkeeper. Francesca lets that one bounce, gives T-Boy Kamara half a chance. And Kamara actually pinches it from him. And he's away now, Kamara. A decision to make for... he's tried a backheel there, and that's probably not the spot to do it. But he wins it back. No, he doesn't. Detroyer wins it back. Kirk. Detroyer now in possession. Beats Benevenuto. It's McCabe. It's Detroyer. Can they get the ball into the box? No, they can't. Marco Toriani's there.
And all of a sudden, Modbury Jets, with the last couple of attacks there, they are looking like they're favouring that right-hand side. The left-hand defender there already been under pressure about 3 or 4 times on that side. That's where it's looking like it's a bit of a speed race at the moment. as Jets go for the corner.
So it's going to be swung in by Dion Kirk on his left foot. It's a deep delivery. Wilson's there, but he goes to ground. No one around him. He managed to get up and win the ball, but he tries to backheel Winimana. Second attempt, third attempt, and the third time round he ends up just tackling Binyam Kabete to the ground.
He looks like he might have held possession if he didn't take the player to the ground there. He somehow was under pressure, but still managed to get about 3 touches there somehow. It's a pity he lost his footing there because he was in a dangerous spot. He had the height there as well.
And he was unmarked too, so he had no one around him. As Benevenuto gives that one away very carelessly, and now it's Francesca. Kirk plays McCabe. Oh, that's lovely. McCabe, Shemitzi. McCabe tries to feed Shemitzi again, and you just see Modbury Jets, they can just flick it on like that, can't they?
Well, it shows how quickly the game can change. Had that ball found the feet and maybe a little bit hesitation, a little bit less hesitation, a couple of points there, would have found the back of the net. But again, it started maybe the first 14 minutes or so, all the momentum behind Adelaide Olympic, but things are looking a little bit different now, and Modbury Jets seeming to settle into a little bit of a groove, and the Olympic defenders maybe looking a little bit more under pressure now. As Cosmo Groff takes the goal kick.
Yeah, Modbury Jets are, well, they're top for a reason, aren't they? And they can just flick the switch and score a goal. They did it a few weeks ago against Croydon, which was another game I called, and to be honest, it was quite similar to this. Croydon actually had 3 or 4 chances, and Modbury scored once around the 30th minute mark, and then just on the stroke of half time, as Paul Wilson finds himself in some hot water again, and referee Verdicchio this time has a little bit of a chat with him and probably says that's your last warning, because next time round it'll be your 3rd offence in the space of 5-10 minutes. Sakani and Henderson having words as well, and Verdicchio has spotted that and will look to cool this one down. Either that or he's going to start issuing some cards. There's only a couple of ways you can sort it out, isn't there?
Exactly. Now, you mentioned before, Jets, their position on the ladder at the moment, they're sort of showing that composure now.
Machida picks up the loose ball and runs away from Kabete.
He's got plenty of space.
Finds Shemitzi. Shemitzi finds Kirk. Kirk finds nobody. Polly comes in to intercept, and he looked a lot closer to the goal than what I first thought, and it's ended up going up for a corner.
A couple of quick flicks there, and they looked like they really opened up Olympics' defence. Would have been a really nice setup, but that final ball, unfortunately, not just right. Again, touching on what you mentioned before, Jets so far managing to switch the momentum a little bit now after weathering the early storm. Now managing to settle things down a little bit, slow the game down.
It's going to be Dion Kirk. Goes short this time. McCabe comes, he gets a little cross into the box, and it's a goal! Just like that, the Modbury Jets go, this is why we're top of the ladder.
Great ball from McCabe, took the ball, turned around, flicked it on off his left boot, found the head. That was a fantastic goal.
Genuinely their first attempt on goal, their first shot on target, and it's in the back of the net. A great variation there on the corner. Kirk.
Just saw the replay on that one. The finesse of that ball off the left boot of McCabe was amazing. I think a little bit of luck to find the head of the head there that eventually put it away, but
yeah, it was Lachlan Wilson. I didn't actually catch it at first either. It happened so quickly, but normally when when there's a goal scored, it's McCabe or Shemitzi, but this time it was Lachlan Wilson headering that one home from close range, and it's 23 minutes gone. Modbury Jets 1, Adelaide Olympic 0.
I think McCabe can still take a fair bit of credit for that ball, because it was all about that flick off the left boot that set things up.
Oh, Henderson with a slight, a rare touch that didn't go his way, and Kamara just pulls Detroit down, and Modbury Jets slowly taking the ascendancy of this game.
Looks like after the kick-off there, Olympic tried to flick things into high gear straight away, but it will have another round of Modbury Jets trying to just absorb that pressure and get things back into the groove after that first goal. We're 23 minutes in, just went on 24 minutes in the first half.
So after a slow start here at Apex Football Stadium, top of the table, Modbury Jets eventually, well, not eventually, they actually find themselves against the run of the play, finally taking the lead, and it's Machida on his left foot. But that one is into the breadbasket of Cosmo Groff in goal.
It was a decent attempt. He was completely airborne when he tried to launch that ball off his left boot, but wasn't to find its target in the end.
And another free kick for Adelaide Olympic. Play short Olympic, and they end up getting out with some space, and now it's Morless with the long ball looking for Polly. Troyer wins the header in the air. Throw in taken quickly. Benevenuto. Now it's Modbury Jets on the front foot yet again. Shimitsi putting some pressure on Toriani, but Toriani ends up finding Overall, whose pass doesn't find Kabete. It's turned over. Now it's Modbury Jets. Definitely worked their way into this game. Now they're just keeping the ball. So before they were turning that over, now they've decided enough's enough. We're going to keep the ball and play our style.
And that high press moments ago from Modbury Jets as well could have very nearly opened up an opportunity there. And you mentioned the way they're moving the ball. They're looking very confident at the moment as they manage to start to get control of the tempo of the game.
Morris Natali trying to get some instructions to his players on the pitch. As Detroit goes forward, finds Shimitsi, who's come out of his normal central area and in a wide position, but it ends up with Henderson now. So Modbury Jets controlling possession and tempo here. McCabe picks it up, finds Kirk. Kirk's back to McCabe. McCabe's going to have a go on his left foot, but that's not going to trouble anybody, especially Cosmo Groff. It's a bit of a update around the ground, Simon. And for all the viewers, Adelaide Comets versus Beergrad. Still 1-0 to Beergrad there, 72 minutes. Adelaide City 1, Raiders 1. Raiders are down to 10 men as of just a couple of minutes ago. So Adelaide City will look to find a winner there against 10 men. As Toriani picks the ball up here and runs out of defence and a little bit of a shimmy, but is met by Machida. The other game that sort of has some correspondence on this one is the Northeastern Metro Stars 4, Adelaide United 0 at the 70th minute mark. So if Modbury hold on to this and Metro Stars win that, Campbelltown dropped points last night at South Adelaide, so those two will be out at the top of the table together within a point of each other, I believe. And of course, earlier today, Croydon Kings, well, it says Croydon Kings, but it's actually called Croydon FC now. Croydon 2, Para Hills 1. Back to the action here at Apex Football Stadium. It's Adelaide Olympic 0, Modbury Jets 1. As we approach the half an hour mark, it's Modbury Jets on the ball through captain Francesca.
One thing I've found really impressive by Modbury Jets so far is once they get that ball into an advanced position, how quickly they start to move it on. A couple of flicks and already they're looking at a really dangerous spot. At the moment, just looking for that option to start that initial attack and start moving the ball quickly around dangerous positions.
Adelaide Olympic only one win in their last 5 games, and that came here a few weeks ago as McCabe gets a shot at go, and then 2 Modbury Jets players have an air swing together at that one. I think it was Machida and Shimitsi. McCabe tried to catch me out with that one there with his shot on target. Lucky it didn't go in. Francesca. McCabe again. Is he going to have another go on goal? McCabe, he gets into the box. Wins a corner for his team.
Managed to hold on to possession under some real pressure there, but we saw another example of how quickly things can become really threatening when Modbury Jets are on the attack.
100% right, Simon. As I was trying to say before McCabe tried to score a goal on me there.
So rudely interrupted you.
Adelaide Olympic Only one win in their last 5, and that was here against Raiders a few weeks ago. They won 2-1. There are other results. Last week losing 3-2 to Campbelltown away. The week before that they lost 4-0 away to Beargrad. And then they had 2 home losses in a row against Comets and 6-1 against Adelaide City. As Kirk looks to deliver this one, and Modbury Jets search for their second goal on the night. It's a deep delivery to the back post. Luich. Benevenuto fends off Wall. Luich ends up just clearing the ball. You may have just heard in the effects mic or in our mics that Morris Natali was not happy that blocker, which is Paul Wilson, wasn't at the back post for that delivery. It's turned over. Kabede now. Polly makes a run on the outside. He doesn't get the ball though, and he's quite disappointed that he didn't get that ball. Sakani. After such a lively start, Sakani, we haven't really seen him for the last 10-15 minutes, have we?
No, and all the body language from Olympic looking a little bit different. They're looking a lot more under pressure now. Really starting to feel the fact that Jets are controlling the tempo. Now, you mentioned earlier the fact that Olympic only won 1 out of the last 5. Interestingly, despite Modbury's position, they've also only won 1 out of the last 5. Lost last week to Campbelltown. There has been the cup win, of course, along the way as well.
Yeah, of course. So these two, obviously, they played each other. So that, when you really look at it, the Olympic have won 1 in their last 6 competitive games. And Modbury Jets have won 2, but one of them was against Olympic. But we won't go into the politics of statistics. Yeah, so last week, obviously, Modbury Jets and Metro finish 1-1. As this ball goes into the box, and that's quite a poor delivery. Yeah, that game between Modbury and Metro is probably the games you want to draw when you're at the top, is against those teams that are around you or second or third, and probably, you don't want to be drawing games to the bottom 2 or 3, because that really costs you at the end of the season when you want to play a home final. And of course, Modbury Jets were involved in that quite extraordinary 4-4 draw against Adelaide United a few weeks ago, which was their actual first draw after the midway break of the year. They actually lost the first 2 games after not they finished. They were on top of the ladder, obviously, at the halfway mark, and then lost to Campbelltown, as you said, and lost to Para Hills, which is their rival team. I told a few of them that Para Hills lost 2 under Croydon today, and they were over the moon before kickoff. So. As we see some controlled possession again. Just ball retention here by Modbury Jets. Wilson and Henderson happy just to pass between them, and now Franceschi gets involved in that little triangle.
Things definitely slowed down a little bit since Modbury took the lead 32 minutes in. And Modbury Jets quite content to just hold the ball, share it around, and just look for those opportunities for a run up front to open up Olympics' defence. And there's an opportunity there. It's on the right-hand side.
Wilson releases McCabe. McCabe's in the box. And he can't find the target. Just past the left-hand post. And another attempt to make it 2-0 for Modbury Jets.
It's exactly what we were talking about, the fact that they can just find that one target, and right then it was on the right-hand side. Another flick on, and boom, it's a shot that's looking really threatening. In that case, it breezed across the front of goal, but it was looking really, really dangerous there. Just having a look at the replay now.
Yeah, it hasn't missed by much.
Pretty well placed. And they probably had about 3 or 4 different opportunities that looked just like that over the last 5 minutes or so. So Modbury Jets looking very threatening to extend their lead.
Benevenuto goes back to Toriani, and he comes back to Luich, who tried to start that attack with a long ball earlier, and it didn't work out. Cabede is met by 1, 2, 3, now 4 Modbury Jets players. Does well to keep the ball. Toriani. Benevenuto, who's playing in as a defensive midfielder tonight. It's all the way back with Groff now under pressure, and he turns it over. Machida's there, but so is Arby Mollis, who picks up the scraps, and he's on the ball again now. Adelaide Olympic just trying to have some sort of possession here to get some control back in this game, but the Modbury Jets pressure has definitely lifted from what we saw in the first 5 or 10 minutes.
Been talking a little bit about the race in number 1 and 2 last score check, Metro Stars were 4 goals up. So you could almost say that that game's a foregone conclusion against United there. Just having a look at next week, though, they're due to play number 8, Croydon, and Modbury Jets due to play the team that are at the bottom of the ladder at the moment in South Adelaide.
So a couple of interesting fixtures next week, especially in that, that relegation area. Oh, Kosmikoff takes a tough touch across his box. Shows a bit to Shimitzi, but in the end it's Olympic that get out, but now they turn it over. For the displeasure of Christy Vangeli down here, not happy with his team turning the ball over in such a high area on the park. McCabe comes and presents. Francesca. McCabe again now in a deep position, picking the ball up. He's done it a few times, McCabe. He's come and picked the ball up, trying to get involved in the game as Wall goes all the way back to Wilson.
And Modbury Jets high press been rewarded so far. They're putting a lot of pressure on Olympic. Another long ball going in, not to a target this time. And Olympic look to find the target at the end of a long ball. And Modbury Jets pick it up again.
Well, Kabete slips in between 2 Modbury players to pick that one up. Now it's Olympic on the attack. Zakani might have a go here. Doesn't fall, and in the end he gives the ball away. Just tried a little shimmy and create space, and that's no foul there as Machita's touch goes out of play.
Overall with a nice firm bump there to hold the attack of Modbury Jets. Had a nice bang against the fence below us, but well executed to not get any punishment from that.
Olympic retained possession. Luic finds Kabete. His touch is away from him, and Francesca there to pick up the pieces again.
Modbury Jets just looking so comfortable at the moment. Even once Olympics start to attack, they're just holding position really well and managing to dispossess and almost maybe making Olympic panic a little bit in possession.
That's quite a clever ball that by Wall. Shimitzi's, he's almost got there before Groff. Almost gave the referee a decision to make there if he had got a touch in. It was on the edge of the box.
That was a really clever ball. Didn't look like there was anyone anywhere near it, but the race to pick it up on the left-hand side started and could have opened something up there for Modbury Jets. The thrown from the left-hand side from a pretty advanced position.
So it's Wall with the throw. Overall clears. Wilson headers to Kirk. Mahawini Mana goes straight up in the air. McCabe's there. Shimitzi's there. So is Wilson. And in the end, it's a goal kick.
About 3 dangerous possessions there in that little series. I'm really curious to see the replay of that and see how close to the top right-hand side that eventual shot was.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was going to trouble the goalkeeper, but it sliced in the end over the crossbar. Mahawini Mana, his clearance was no good, and it gave Modbury Jets that half chance.
It
just gone
really
past
close.
the post, hasn't it? So Lachlan Wilson with a chance for his second, and would have also been Modbury Jets' second.
I was impressed with that really strong header to start that whole series as well, just on the edge of the 18-yard box, and just put Modbury Jets again into that really dangerous place that they keep finding themselves on the edge of the 18-yard box. Options, a lot of movement there, and really opening up Olympic and making him look really vulnerable.
Jets get a free kick now in a wide area. They look to take it quickly in the end. Jesse Francesca says, just slow down a bit, boys. We're 1-0 up. 38 minutes into the 39th minute now. Wilson finds Detroyer. Comes inside to Kirk. Kirk's got a couple of players around him in blue shirts, but it's good enough to find Wilson, and then the distribution from Modbury Jets has been very good in this last 20 minutes. They haven't really turned the ball over too much. Francesco allowed to run now. We saw what happened last week when he ran at the defenders and had a shot. He can find the target, and even better, can find the back of the net. Kirk with his touch past Benevenuto, but again, possession with Modbury. Muhawini Mana, his header doesn't clear. Gives young Wilson half a chance to nip in, and in the end can only put it out for a throw into the Modbury Jets. So Modbury Jets looking for that second goal. He's in the box. It's Kirk. No, it's not. It's Machida. Goes out for a goal kick. So Giuseppe Machida, who's just on the left-hand side here before, he seems to be able to get around the park fairly easily, doesn't he?
We've seen his foot speed a little bit so far tonight. Plenty of foot speed on the side of both teams, really. But Modbury Jets just seeming to use it a little bit better at the moment. Olympic just looking a little bit panicked. And they're looking a little bit panicked right now as the ball retreats its way back to the keeper, as he looks for clearance options under pressure.
Yeah, he didn't have much there, did he? He just had to end up going long. No one really wanted the play, but now it's Henderson all the way back to his keeper. Polly was there to chase it down, but keeper had already gotten there. Toriani wins the header.
Olympic back in possession, but still looking really panicked as they pick her up around the midpoint of the park, but goes back for a throw for Modbury Jets. Now, we were talking about the cup rounds earlier, all set up for the next round. So Modbury have their next round of the cup sorted. Going to be Campbelltown, the team currently in number 3 in the NPL that they'll face.
Where are they from?
Campbelltown.
Oh, sorry. Jeez, you just caught me off guard there. Yes.
I'm questioning what I said now.
Campbelltown's. Yes, you're right. That is in a few
Northeastern
weeks.
suburbs.
Goodness me. I wasn't even concentrating then. I apologise to the viewers. Yes, Modbury Jets, obviously that final coming up against Campbelltown City. We'll get back to that after this corner. So it's going to be Kirk. He's got McCabe, who's also waltzed out there to have a chat with him. Maybe something similar to before. Maybe they've been working. Morris Natali might have got that little handbook out that I know he's got and worked on some plays. It is a different one. Francesca now with a deep delivery. Wilson's going to be there. Wilson wins a header. Oh, it's cleared.
And what a delivery. Really long and high, but it found the head of one of the Modbury Jets players, and really good opportunity for a couple of different points of that series in the attack there. Yeah, and it goes for another corner now.
It does.
Do they try the same thing again, or do you go something else from the pocketbook that you just mentioned?
And that's not even a joke. I know he's got a little book of plays. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. Kirk's going to deliver this one deep, though. It's on the keeper's head. Oh. He does well enough, Groff, just to get a little fingertip to it. Molas turns back inside and gives it to Rusko Luic to clear. He finds Kabede. So can Adelaide Olympic maybe pull one back just before half-time? Machida with the pressure on the ball, and it goes out for a throw-in.
Modbury looking so impressive, both with that pressure that they put on Olympic as they were trying to clear it out, and also the way that the other players just dropped back to get into defensive positions there.
Overall now. Back to overall. Rusko Luic. His pass all the way across to Muhaha Winimana. Puts him under the pump. He has to retreat and pick this one up. It's Groff now. Benevenuto. Back to you, mate. What were you saying about that cup game in a few weeks' time? It's
Modbury Campbelltown.
Modbury Campbelltown, and it's going to be played at Service FM Stadium. And obviously, given that both those teams have won 3 hours, there's a turnover here. Hamish McCabe's in the box. Cosmo Groff with a great save to keep his team in it.
Very aggressively moved out and stopped that one. Could have very easily been 2-0 there.
And Canada Olympic counter-attack on the other end. Kamara, he's released by Tsakani. Kamara gets into the box. Hasn't scored a goal yet this year. Plays Kabede, and it's a goal. So Adelaide Olympic pull one back. And when I say pull one back, it's against the run of play, because it's been all Modbury Jets for the last 20 minutes. It's 1-1. The goal scorer is Binyam Kabede.
Such a good run there on the left-hand side. 2 options. I saw Overall put his head in his hands at one point there as they're advancing forward. I think is a flag going to go up? Didn't. And it shows how quickly things can change. And we're at the 43rd minute at the moment of the first half, and we're looking 1-1. And Modbury Jets, who have just been controlling the last 20 minutes to half an hour, so many opportunities, looking so dangerous at different times, find themselves all tied up as the team top of the ladder at the moment against the number 11 Adelaide Olympic, who are currently sitting in the relegation zone.
So a goal against the run of play here at Apex Football Stadium as we approach half-time. It's a 45th minute goal and 44th minute goal. We're in the 45th minute.
I mentioned a couple different stages there, how panicked Adelaide Olympic were looking. They didn't look panicked during that attack at all. Really calmly delivered from the left-hand side.
McCabe trying to get one back now. Oh, fancy footwork into the box. Kirk on the edge of the box now. Turns one way. He's fouled, is he? He is. So he's pulled down, and it's a free kick in a very dangerous position. And I can only imagine that Francesco Schmitzi and Jesse Francesco will want a piece of this. Maybe even Hamish McCabe. They've got a few guys that can hit him.
Yeah, 9, 8 and 7 goals each respectively. Yeah, so pretty close in the race for the team's top goal scorer at the moment.
Yeah, so we got Schmitzi 9, Hamish McCabe 8, and Jesse Francesca 7. So they can all score goals. Who's going to want to hit this one? Looks like the whole team wants to take it at the moment.
It was only centimetres away from being a penalty as well. We saw a couple of different examples of, as you mentioned, the fancy footwork there.
Yeah, McCabe did well with the fancy footwork on the edge of the box to get into the box, and then it came to Dion Kirk, who looked like he was going to pull the trigger, but he took an extra touch out to his left, and in the end he was fouled, and it's literally centimetres away from that line, so you can't get any closer if you want a direct free kick. It's going to be the captain, a great save, bundled in, and it's Francesco Schmitzi on the follow-up. There's no flag on the far side. The goal stands. It's 2-1 to the Modbury Jets.
And Schmitzi's raised his tally to 10. We're in the 45th minute, so extra time, and in the last 46, just gone over to 47, so...
Yeah, T-Boy Kamara kept him onside there. If you have a look at the replay, he was literally sitting on the post. As the ball was delivered, he's ran back, he's kept everyone onside. No complaints at all to be had there. And Morris Natali's team talk at halftime has just changed in the matter of minutes from probably saying we're in complete control to conceding, and now they're back ahead 2-1.
Great positioning from Schmitzi there to be there to pick up the deflection. Found himself running in. Groff doing a great job to dive and get his hands on the ball, but Schmitzi was just there. Full momentum behind him as he ran in and down the back of the net. Minutes away from half-time.
Maybe even seconds, Simon, as Olympic go forward and look to find another equaliser after going behind with that goal. Christian Verdicchio looks at his watch. So we're into the second minute, and there is the whistle for half-time from referee Christian Verdicchio to end this first half that's seen 3 goals and some quite entertaining football. After Modbury Jets got off to a slow start, they ended up taking the lead. Olympic had a couple of little patches at the start and end of that half, and Modbury Jets probably happier the two, weren't they? They didn't play their best football and they ended up going 2-1 up at half-time.
It looks like they were quite content to slow down the game a little bit as well, about, probably up to about the 40, when was that goal scored, the 42-minute mark or thereabouts. But all of a sudden, a firecracker led off under this game and 2 goals inside the last few minutes. And things are looking very interesting here.
So it's half-time here at Apex Football Stadium. We'll be back with the second half, some full-time results in the other games. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. It's Adelaide Olympic 1, the Modbury Jets 2.
It's never too late to improve your strength, balance, well-being and independence. Our Strength for Life program encourages all older South Australians to start moving and enjoy an active lifestyle, make friends, build strength and inevitably age well. Strength for Life sessions are offered in almost 100 locations across South Australia, with new sites opening all the time. Check out the COTA SA website to find your nearest location.
Strength for Life is an individualised program which is delivered in a group setting. We aim to keep older South Australians connected with their community, preventing social isolation and also keeping their bodies strong, flexible, managing falls and keeping them engaged. We're super excited to be partnering with Football SA at this state-of-the-art location. It's a beautiful venue. It will really benefit the local community through the Northfield and Jepps Cross surrounding areas to be able to access Strength for Life. And together we are working to improve everyone's futures.
As here come our two sides. The bar has been set. It's a great run from Kyra Cooney-Cross.
Turn under pressure.
Here come the Socceroos again. Good one on the right foot, and the Socceroos have the breakthrough. What a goal! The Matildas are running amok. Opens up for the shot.
Sinclair up the double. There's the gun foot. Australia head over heels about this superstar.
And it's Adelaide Croatia Raiders time.
Right out, goes top corner, and is it in?
A captain's contribution for Luke Klimek.
Written in the stars for Nicholas Foucault.
Oh my God! It's another one for Modbury Jets. It's Fabian Barbiero. Your NPL champions, Adelaide United. As both sides start to walk out on what will be a momentous day for both of these great teams. The crowd is built for the home side today, and Ninko Beric with the armband of FK Beograd.
In the absence of Andoni Natsiopoulos today, who's still out with shoulder.
A Saturday afternoon match at Hanson Reserve, 1-0 the way of Adelaide Croatia. I'm sure they'd love to repeat that in 2024 as we get kickoff underway here at the Croatian Sports Centre. Busasa running down this right wing in a good position to put the ball in. Takes on one, and it's an early penalty for Croatia Raiders. The foul committed by Yuda Kimishima against Kavanagh. Good penalty. Kimishima gets the scoring underway, 1-0 to Adelaide Croatia Raiders.
Yeah, great finish there from Kimishima. He sent Kavanagh.
Corner comes in. Only gets to the edge of the box for the goal scorer of this one so far. Good save by Mateo. One of 3 top goal scorers for Raiders this season. The header! 2-0 to Adelaide Croatia Raiders early on. The ball comes in. Kavanagh getting in the way. Neon Kuru puts the ball out wide. Looking for a way in. Ball comes across the face of goal. From it. Neon Kuru. Looking for the ball over the top.
Mostly across the board in that regard.
Ball down the right wing once again. And a penalty. The exact same spot
where the first one was taken at almost the exact same time. From the penalty spot, Jason Konstantopoulos gets the breakthrough for FK Beograd. Game on here.
Yeah, and just like the first penalty, nothing wrong with that at all. Great finish from Konstantopoulos, sent the keeper.
Making his way down the right wing. Still with the ball. Cuts it back. Good save by the Friedrich, gets the touchdown. Stefan Matteo in plenty of space to take on his man. Gets past one, then has the shot. Out for the goal. Corner taken short. Ball comes in on the right foot. Falls nicely. For Shearer. Two in the derby. And what a final 10 minutes we have here.
But yeah, Raiders had more play, but...
Lovely ball from Trimboli. Bisasa is one-on-one. Just needs to finish. Bisasa! 3-2 in the derby. And it's that young man once again.
And I think they were trying to get Beric in a bit of trouble, but it was he'd fallen over, tripped over his own feet, really.
Lovely touch from Stefan Matteo. This could be the finisher. Nearly through the legs did Stefan Matteo go. Jai King-Burn. Matteo just has to finish. Oh, it's gone wide. High and wide. Is this the final kick of the match? Not so yet. Full time here at the Croatian Sports Centre. Adelaide Croatia Raiders come out 3-2 winners in the end. All 3 points staying here at the Croatian Sports Centre.
Yeah, what a game that turned out to be. I mean, Raiders 2-0 up. They'd let FK Beograd back in the game at 2 apiece, and then they scored the winner straight after FK Beograd equalised.
And the future is orange for Stratline. Flinders are in the lead. Rachel Quigley. Oh, that's absolutely brilliant.
LA Comets to 2023 premiers.
Saved by Pomeroy. They had to go the distance and then some.
Josephine Trimboli, number 9, Tane Morris, number 12, Georgia Box, number 13, Madeline Box, number 14, Siobhan Eastham, number 16, Natasha Vella, and number 27, Lena Vogelsang, with head coach Jason Trimboli. Underway here at Service FM Stadium. Good ball from McCormick. Box chasing down on the wing. Aaron Murphy had 8 last year in total, so already beaten that. Ball's there. Good ball through. Vogelsang, one-on-one. Well collected by Aaron Murphy. Good ball. Burnett through the centre. On the left foot. Only into the side netting. DeCola. Quigley on the edge of the box. Looking to get it onto her left foot. Given away straight back to West Adelaide. That effort. This one being chased down. And she does well too. Quigley is there. This corner to come in from Munich. Headed towards goal. Tipping it onto the bar.
On the ball today.
Good ball through. She's one-on-one with the keeper. Could this be the opening? Was a disappointing A-League season for Adelaide United in the end. Good set piece opportunity. Quickly hitting. It's in. The breakthrough being made. Vogelsang putting the ball in. Hodgson. Notto again to put the ball in on her right foot. Knew the ball was there. She has it now. Easy pass. Finish on the left foot. Into the side netting. Well done from Notto.
Two great minds.
Ball comes in from Tansel. Notto's there! To make it 2-0. 5 minutes left. Adelaide Uni now. Ball just getting launched forward. McFarlane. Just as we were talking about it, getting in the way of that one. And just like that, the full-time whistle blows. 2-0 to West Adelaide.
Welcome back to Apex Football Stadium for the second half here between Adelaide Olympic and the Modbury Jets. No changes at half time, but we're about to see one very shortly. They fooled me there. Coming on for Adelaide Olympic is number 9.
Mamadi Kamara.
Yes, that's the one. Mamadi Kamara. So he comes on in place of, looks like, Rusko Luich has come off. Possibly an injury there. Because I did get told at half-time that it was going to be Overall that was coming off. So maybe an injury has forced that change. So Mamadi Kamara on. Rusko Luich off for Adelaide Olympic as the second half is now underway.
Well, Overall looks like he's slipped back into a bit of a... Is that a right-back position?
Yeah, he is. So he's obviously gone back to where Rusko Luich was playing. So just a straight little swap up there, and Adelaide Olympic get on the way on the front foot. It's Modbury Jets with the advantage, though. They're 2-1 up here, so Olympic in that relegation zone really need to pick up at least a point tonight.
And, of course, there was plenty of action late in that first half. 22nd minute is when Modbury opened the scoring. Lachlan Wilson, Olympic, struck back in the 43rd minute. Looked like it was going to go into the break all even, but 1 minute into extra time in the first half, Schmizzy puts his goal tally to 10 and leading goal scorers for his team. So
double figures, not a bad effort. Well, I'll tell you what, it's not a bad effort. He's got 10, but when you've got a couple of players around the same mark, it's always good signs for a team at the top of the table. It's Muhaha Winimana in possession. Oh, a little bit of a slow pass back to his goalkeeper, Groff, who's under the pump from that man, Shumitsi. Tsakani. Looks like the Tsakani that was out there the first 15 minutes on the ball. That ball didn't go out, so play on. It's McCabe. The linesman copping an earful from Christopher Gelly. Probably no need because the ball was in possession. Oh, it's turned over and it's not. Muhaha Winimana committing football suicide there by going across the goals.
And somehow that's the second time been let off the hook.
And it should have been 3-1.
Yep. Early in the first half, there was a ball put across the face of goals rather than just cleared out. The second time it's happened, and miraculously, the ball hasn't ended up in the back of the net there. Very lucky.
It was that man we were talking about earlier. Shumitsi should have had his 11th for a season. He got it given on a plate. In the end, he's turned his plate on the side and put it on the floor.
Well, I think the main message for Olympic would have been at half-time, just composure at the back. We saw how potent their attack can be with what they achieved in the 43rd minute, but not a good start to the second half for them. Although you can look at that as a bit of positive, the fact that they were let out of jail free for that.
100%, so Adelaide Olympic will counting their lucky stars.
Shimizu would be spewing it wasn't 11 after that.
Now it's Francesca. Detroit's touch goes above his head and then he can't control it, and Benevenuto picks it off. A great little flick inside by Kamara. Benevenuto again. Kabere finds Sakani. Sakani with a pirouette inside. Now he uses the outside of his foot and gets it to the captain in James Polly. His touch nearly gets away from him. T-Boy Kamara now on the ball. Just holds his defender at bay's length, but he's almost given it away. There's a couple of sloppy turnovers to start this second half, Simon.
Well, it looks like they're trying to start the second half off with the pace that they started the beginning of the game off with, but they're going to be really careful here because although I'm sure they're hungry to tie things up, we've seen how quickly Modbury can get possession, especially with that high press, and get the goal, and they find themselves in possession now. Onto the left-hand side.
Here goes Modbury again. It's Shumitsi. Can't bundle his way through a couple of blue shirts there, and it's Muhaha Winimana. Just plays a safe option that time. Polly looks for Tsakani and a little flick on. A great flick does. Henderson gets there before Kamara and does so well as he does most of the time that he's out there. He just has that ability, Tim Henderson. He always gets in there. I don't know how he does it. He's always able to get a foot in there or his body in there.
It seemed like he used his body. Well. He was just really strong and composed, and even though it was a bit of a potent attack there from Olympic, he made pretty light work of defending that in the end.
He told me last week he had a sore groin. I don't think his groins are too sore anymore. He did very well to pick up the pace there. Benevenuto now. Kamara finds. No, he doesn't find. He finds Wilson. Now it's Shumitsi who wins the header in the air. Machida tries to outrun Molas to the disapproval of his coach down below. Not happy that he tried to dribble the ball there into no man's land. Now it's Wilson on the ball. Wilson looks for Machida and finds him. What's he going to do this time? This time he plays short to McCabe. McCabe on the dribble now. Gets into the box. Shumitsi. Machida. Edge of the box. Joseph Machida. Oh.
Until that final strike, Jets were looking really comfortable in possession there. And it seems Olympic trying to go out and establish a bit of run at the start of the second half there. But Jets probably a little bit quicker than they were at the start of the game in just when they do get the ball, starting to control the tempo there, because that was a really good attack. Again, as soon as they get forward, it's only a couple little flicks before they're in a really dangerous position.
Kamara in a position now to score. Gets a shot on target. Keeper has to make a save. Great save there.
Right as we're talking about how
Ryan Nield.
Right as we're talking about how dangerous Jets can become quickly, happens on the other side. Olympic
Just
with a really threatening attack there.
A little bit of explosive pace by T-Boy Kamara, really putting distance between him and his defender there, wasn't it? So quickly, just we've seemed to say quick a lot tonight.
Yeah.
And, it is because there's a lot of players out there with that ability. But Kamara there just stood his defender up, put the ball to the side of him and had a go on target. And Ryan Nield had to make the save. Now it's Kamara of the Marmody style. He can't produce the quality required to get a shot on target. Mohaweni Mana seemed to be collected with a little bit of an elbow by Shimitsi there, but seems to be... Shouldn't let that phase him. He just needs to keep playing until the whistle blows. Francesca, his pass isn't good enough for Daniel DeTroyer on that occasion. It's going to be a Adelaide Olympic throw-in.
The way Modbury Jets are attacking is really exciting, moving the ball really quickly as they advance up the wing.
So another free kick there for Adelaide Olympic as T-Boy Kamara takes it quickly. It's out with Marmody Kamara against Drop Wall.
Olympic looking for options. Jets, rather.
Oh, that's a late challenge by Zoid Sarkani there. Bit of a stomping motion on the attempt to win the ball. In fact, I don't even think he wanted to win the ball. I think he just wanted to clean the player up, which is...
That was a really late challenge. I didn't even see that one because the ball was going towards a Modbury attack there when he went down.
Yeah, that's quite late and dangerous by Zoid Sarkani there. Probably quite lucky that he didn't actually collect the player, but that's quite an extreme effort. You saw the foot come down with his motion as Paul Wilson cleared the ball. And all I can say is he's quite lucky that the official was here in front of us, was down sort of, 30, 40 metres away, because if that was on the other side in front of the official,
yeah,
I dare say he'd be able to indicate to Christian Vidicka, because he was sort of caught inside as well. Probably not anticipating something like that was going to happen. But
No.
Yeah, it was a little bit unsafe by Zoid Sarkani there.
Well, he's getting some medical treatment on the field at the moment, being helped to his feet. And he seems fine, but the way he was initially grabbing his knee, it didn't look great. And Modbury Jets will take the free kick, but a bit of an attack there stifled as well.
I have no idea where that ball ended up, because I just wanted to have a look and see what happened with the tackle. So Nield will, it was a free kick, so there we go. Nield restarts. Shimitsi. Oh, that's great work by Shimitsi. Kirk. Lachlan Wilson tries a little flick over the top, but Polly's there to put his little bit of a imprint on that one and puts his shoulder in the way.
Again, more of those short, clever passes on the wing there, just waiting for something to open up and centre the ball and find a gap in Olympics' defence.
Mohaweni Mana tries to clear it, goes straight into Lachlan Wilson. That ball's kept in by DeTroyer. Just kicks it out for a goal kick.
.55 minutes into the second half, and still a lot of pressure for Modbury Jets, not content to let Olympic play it out from the back.
It's been a strange kind of game, hasn't it? It's been waves. It's been Olympic early, then Modbury, then Olympic. Now it's McCabe. Can he have his input on this match? Not just yet, but he turns inside. Kamara comes through and, like 10-pin bowling, cleans up everything in front of him. Sakani now. Henderson under a bit of pressure is calm and collected there. Wilson goes back to Wilson.
I think despite the fact that there's only one goal in it at the moment, Modbury Jets are showing real quality at the moment. Just the way they move the ball, the way they break quickly, the way they're passing really spreads Olympic and opens up options. It's just a really entertaining style of football to watch.
Bit of a problem here for Modbury Jets with Hamish McCabe seems to be in a little bit of trouble with a slight maybe knock from that. I think it was from that T-Boy Kamara. His attempt at 10-pin bowling earlier, like I said, where he just went through everything that was in his way. Already without his brother Liam McCabe, who's out for another few weeks with a little, I believe, don't shoot me if I'm wrong, but I think it was a little meniscus he said that he did a few weeks ago. So he's been out for the last 3 weeks. So they'll get him back in a couple of weeks' time, just in time for that Cup game, I assume, and then the run into the finals from there. And then they've also got the Australia Cup coming up, Simon, which they will be competing in
against Campbelltown. So, of course, managed to get them their way into that next round of the Cup with the last time they managed to beat Olympic.
Here is Wilson, but his pass to him was a bit too much for him, and now it's Kamara. Can he find that explosiveness again? He certainly can. Kibere, he's got Kamara of Marmody on the other side. He cuts inside. Bit of fancy footwork, trying to lose 2 players, but Jock Wall's there and he cleans up. Yeah, sorry, Simon, we'll just get back to that. That's a bit of a rash effort. I've got my wires crossed there. I thought it was going to go out for a corner, but it's a goal kick. So we've touched on, obviously the Federation Cup, and then we've also got the Australia Cup, which Campbelltown and Modbury, who will play in that final, they'll both compete in the coming months. So both of them will be away in the first round of that round of 32 clash. In fact, all 3 teams from South Australia, even Adelaide United, will be away, the A-League men's team. So interesting as Neild comes out, gets a hand on the ball, luckily.
Found himself in really dangerous territory there, but fortunately, well, the ball wasn't on target, but Modbury Jets had plenty of players back. Not sure how they ended up in such a scramble there on the edge of the box. But at the moment, we're seeing a lot of aggression from Olympic. Even trying to win possession and put Neild under pressure.
Wilson just goes long in the end. Schmitzi's under it, so is Muhaha Winimana. Wins the first and second header. But Kirk, oh, that's quality by Kirk. Chest volley to Machida, a little nutmeg. And then a late, well, not a late challenge, but just a challenge from behind. And Benevenuto sort of has made the most of that one.
Keep passing.
It didn't look like an overly reckless challenge there, just trying to get locking his possession of the ball, but the really impressive passage of play was that ball across to find a target for Modbury Jets. Had he managed to get clean possession for it, he would have been off.
Groff out of his box now, has to use his feet only. Overall, looks for Mamadi Kamara. He finds him. Mamadi Kamara can't find anybody. He just gives it back to Francesca. Now it's McCabe in some space. What can he do? Maybe this time he'll get on the score sheet. McCabe cuts inside. McCabe finds the bottom right-hand corner. That's 3 for Modbury Jets.
I thought he was looking for an option on his right-hand side there. Decided to do it all on his own, and it was a rocket that found the back of the net.
So I said moments ago, can McCabe have an input on this match? And there you go. So he's now got his 9th for the season. As we mentioned earlier, Schmitzi's got 10. So that's your 2 strikers with 19 goals between them.
Oh, at a +1.
Keep up with
McCabe
the stats.
9, Schmitzi 10. That was such a great ball. Little flick onto the right boot, and he just launched it and found the back there. Really great goal.
It was a smart ball because it could have been played into the space for him to run on and maybe get on the byline, but Francesca sort of just used the instep there, and it's made its way to McCabe, who cut in and found the bottom right-hand corner with absolute precision. So Modbury Jets now go 3-1 up and look to maybe put this one beyond doubt in the last half an hour.
Well, Modbury at one stage in the second half before Olympic equalised sort of slowed things down a little bit. I get the feeling that we may see that a little bit now that they are 2 games up. But we're seeing lots of aggression from Olympic at the moment. I say that as we see a signed copper boot on the sideline there.
Yeah, there's definitely aggression out there from Zoid Sakani. As we see another substitution for Adelaide Olympic now that they are the 2 goals behind. Throwing on Mohamed Kone to replace T-Boy Kamara, which is quite extraordinary that T-Boy Kamara has been bought off after most of the play has gone through him. As Olympic have a corner, it's Polly now to deliver. The back post, Toriani, Kabede, cleared off the line by Detroya. Mamadi Kamara can't control it, and Modbury Jets escape there. So Adelaide Olympic nearly pulling one back straight away, as they did in the first half.
Overall tried his luck as a really long ball into there, and it tried to seek out the head of one of his players there. Didn't quite happen. Modbury Jets really composed in getting possession again and playing the ball out, but Olympic find themselves with a throw-in.
Modbury Jets just winning all those 50-50 balls at the moment. Now Shimitsi's played in on goal. Toriani's there. Muhaha Winimana's there. And Cosmo Groff's also there to pick it up. And Shimitsi not happy with not being able to get to that. He took his frustration out on Marco Muhaha Winimana there. So Christian Vidica just having a little word to him, saying it's not required.
He was very eager to make it 11 there, despite being dispossessed. He kept going, sort of found his foot to the ball again, and second defender got involved, and he was still having a crack at it.
Now we see Alessio Benevenuto go to the floor rather. So maybe Adelaide Olympic having to be forced into another change very soon.
He's done the Cinderella, kick the shoe off.
Hey, look at Tim. Work out who's marking any corners.
And all wrapped up with the Metro Stars and Adelaide United game. I think last score check, Metro Stars were about 4-0 up.
Well, we've got a stoppage. I'll just actually pull that up, and I completely forgot about it.
I like the way you think.
So those results that we've seen earlier on, obviously 3-1 here. Metro Stars 5, Adelaide United 1. Adelaide City ended up getting that second goal after Raiders went down to 10 men. It's finished Adelaide City 2, Adelaide Raiders 1, and that's Adelaide City's 7th consecutive win after being in the relegation zone for the first half of the season. They have not lost now in 7 games, so they make their way well and truly into the top 6. The other game also finished 1-1 between Adelaide Comets and FK Beargrad, and Croydon, obviously earlier on, 2, Para Hills 1.
We're about to see a substitution here for Olympic.
So Alessio Benevenuto is coming off, and it's going to be Adabanji Adesida to come on for Adelaide Olympic. So they've made 3 changes now. They only have 1 outfield player left on the bench. The only other person they can bring on is the goalkeeper, which is Gianni Tremontin. So 1 change left, and that change, if anything, isn't helpful because he's a defender, and that's Daniel Kikianis. So safe to say they've thrown all their attacking weapons at this one now. Toriani has also been shifted now into the midfield now that Adesida's come on. He's gone to centre-back. Toriani seems to have come inside, or is that just him out of frustration maybe running out of position? No, it does look like they are going to do that. So Polly on the left, Muhaha Winimana, Adesida, and overall will be the back 4 now. Wilson picks this one up. Polly picks that one up. Wallace, tripped by Kirk. Adelaide Olympic now chasing this game behind 3 goals to 1. And that does not do them any favours at all with that battle for relegation. The team that was above them and the ones they were chasing down to get out of that zone was FK Beargrad, who managed to pick up a point. So given that Adelaide Olympic are 3-1 down here, the closest team to them now is, there's 2 teams, which is FK Beargrad on 19 points, Adelaide United Youth on 19 points, and Adelaide Olympic would be stuck on 14. So that's essentially 2 games they've got to pick up with only 5 left. So it's going to be very tough.
Yeah, it's a tough chase, but they're trying to do their best to chase down a couple goals here. I mean, they've got no choice. Mentioned at the start of the broadcast the fact that you're going to be really wary of a team that has nothing to lose, and that's the attitude that they're attacking with at the moment.
Polly delivers that one. It's cleared. Mahawini Mana, the defender, up for the corner, doesn't want to have a shot. Polly's going to re-deliver. That's a great ball into the box. Wilson deals with it though. Adesita has another go. Wilson wins the header and cleans up his own teammate. And Sakani, in the end, after all that, puts it out for a goal kick.
That's a frightening sight, Adesita running at you, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd want the ball to my feet, and that's it.
That's a lot of force coming at you.
Now it's Modbury Jets going forward again, looking for that 4th goal. Oh, McCabe with a little flick, a flick-through ball. Maybe just turning on the style for the last 20 minutes is Hamish McCabe, but
I think we've seen some fancy footwork throughout the game, though, so far. They love favouring those short passes and even going for a bit of a run themselves. That was a great example of it, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, the flag went up, didn't it? So it wouldn't have counted. It would have been great, but it wouldn't have counted. Now it's Kone. Is he going to win a corner? No, he's still with the ball's kept in play. In the end, he lets it go out, and it is going to be a corner. So can Adelaide Olympic maybe this time round? For the second time tonight, they've got to come from behind. So it's 3-1 to the Modbury Jets at the moment. Polly to deliver this corner. 20-odd minutes to play. It's a deep ball. It's Adesita. The ball hits the shoulder by the sounds of it, or by the looks of it. Verdicchio pointed to his shoulder, so he was very happy that it wasn't a handball. Christy Vangelli still not happy that it wasn't given. And the just a forecast update. It hasn't gotten any warmer out here. It's freezing. I cannot feel my hands at all.
You made the box look like a little dance floor with the...
Well, when you forget your jumper, you've got to improvise how to keep warm. And
You're doing your best at that.
Goodness me. Toriani wins that one. He might even try and have a go here, Toriani, if he can have a chance. No. Verdicchio says, get up, play on. Probably went to going a little bit too easy now, getting a little bit frustrated is Toriani. I don't think we've seen any yellow cards tonight.
No, I can't recall seeing one yet. Modbury Jets on the rebound.
So, for what had anticipation of maybe a bit of a tussle and a bit of aggression, which we've seen on a few occasions, there hasn't been any yellow cards issued out yet. And in saying that, we've still got 21 minutes to go.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the game's at a point where Olympics trying to really dial up the pressure. Modbury's still out having their moments going forward, but just with the stakes that we see at the moment, particularly for Olympic at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if we just see the level of aggression just dial up a little bit further. It's already a pretty quick moving, pretty aggressive game, but particularly from Olympic. But Modbury Jets pretty content to absorb that pressure at the moment and just rebound really, really quickly when they've got the opportunity.
Yeah, Morris Natali still not happy with his team giving the ball away so easily. They want to finish this game a lot more comfortable than what they have in recent weeks. Obviously last week they drew with top of the table competitors, Metro Stars, but we've seen in the past 3 or 4 weeks the teams that are mid-table and further to the bottom, they've actually struggled to finish off. They did manage to beat Croydon 4-0 a few weeks ago, as Polly finds Zakani. He beats Paul Wilson, but he can't get past Francesca. That's very well done by Francesca. Mollis now. Mamadi Kamara. Zakani's in the box, but Wilson's there to block that one as well.
And Moritz Natali with plenty to say at that defensive effort from Modbury Jets.
Yeah, he's not too happy with the... I don't think he's too happy with the positioning of young Giuseppe Machida at the moment. He's asking him a few times, where's your position? As Christian Victor lets that one play on. Schmitzi's into the box. He's got Adesita there. A little reverse. Wilson falls to Cosmo Groff.
Another instance of Modbury Jets attacking with those short passes, the flicks, and again almost open up an opportunity here, but going to have a bit of a closer look at it. What's happened around the middle of the ground. It sounds like Christian Vidicchio, the ref's laying down the law at the moment. It looks like the yellow card situation. No, I thought he was gesturing to...
Yeah, I think Toriani had something to say, and then Polly was actually saying, I couldn't quite hear what he was saying, but Polly was asking him something, and then everyone's asking him why it wasn't a free kick. To be honest with you, I actually missed the incident. As Tim Henderson comes to get some refreshments to get him through this game.
Well, he's still limping as he comes off the field, so given the substitute position Olympics in at the moment.
Yeah, they've only got Daniel Kikianis on the bench, who is a defender that's already played 70-odd minutes and doesn't look to be all that warmed up down there. He's more of a, looks like he's about to have a coffee and a couple of biscuits down there leaning on the fence. So, yeah.
Coffee and a couple of biscuits.
Well, nice dobbed him in there, but that's all right. I know he's already played 75, 80 odd minutes in the reserve, so he's probably not too keen to come on at all. And it's probably worse when you've played 70 odd minutes and then you've got to sit in the cold and then try and warm up again. It's nothing worse than that.
Yeah, absolutely. You're probably getting a little bit comfy there. You've cooled down, then all of a sudden you have to get yourself that second wind to come on again. It's not the position when you want to find yourself in, especially with how cold tonight is.
Here is Toriani in a much more forward position. He's almost playing as a second striker. Mamadi Kamara tried some sort of fancy footwork that looked like he was riding a bike instead, but Cosmo Groff comes out and clears that one well. I'm not too sure what Mamadi Kamara was trying to do there.
Groff came way off his line to clear that one. In talking about players coming on after reserves games late, saw an amateur game a couple of weeks ago when it was exactly that case. A player that had played about 70, 80 minutes in the reserves game came on.
3 beers as well?
No, he was a young player, so I'm not sure if he was any beers deep, but came on at half-time, was maybe only on for about 5 minutes. He was going into a full sprint to try attack a dangerous ball, but he ended up pulling his hamstring, so...
Lovely.
That was my theory. Coming
so
on
then he had 3 beers after that.
Yeah, well, then as well, you might as... give yourself a chance to relax and, maybe scrape something out of the afternoon to go with the torn hamstring.
So 15 minutes to go here at Apex Football Stadium. Scoreline still reads Adelaide Olympic 1, Modbury Jets 3. As this result stands, Modbury Jets will stay on top of the ladder. Oh, that's a great take by Ryan Neild in the goal. Held onto that strongly.
Really strong save. He's still on the ground though at the moment.
And maybe has been collected. Maybe caught one in the ribs, possibly, while he picked that ball up, but don't think he needs the assistance of the trainer, so he's just maybe trying to grab a breath or two at the
looks
moment.
like he copped a bit of a knock from the back. And it might have been from Adesita as well, and that's probably the player that you least want a bit of a bump from.
Modbury Jets getting a substitution ready down below us. Darson Shuxy stripped and ready to come on at the next breaking play, but it might be a kickoff. Oh, that's a great challenge. It's a fair and solid challenge by Adebunji Adesita there. And
that was a crunching tackle.
Detroit that's copped the raw end of that one. And they are going to make that change now. And whether or not Detroit can continue, was he the person maybe that's going to come off? It looks like
he's on his feet, although
it's going to be great. Giuseppe Machida is going to be the one to make way.
I have a feeling that might have just been a real severe corky with the way he was taken out there. I think he's reassessing his life decisions and the run on the right-hand side after that.
Yeah, as you said before, it's not someone you want to be going in for a 50-50 with.
Yeah.
It's big. Goes by Martins, Big Martins Adesita. His full name is Adebunji, so either way, we're talking about the same person. But yeah, big unit. This ball here.
Detroit's persisting, trying to shake it off, but he's not walking any better yet.
That variety of corner isn't good enough, and Winnie Mana took his eye off the ball there and just ran into trouble, which was Darson Shuxy, and it's McCabe now. Can he find his second for the match? It's McCabe. It's 4-1. And Hamish McCabe, from what I've seen the past few weeks, always has a celebration to match a goal. He gets his second for the match. He also gets his 10th for the season. You need to add another +1 to that statistic there, mate.
We're all even. Schmitzy McCabe, 10 apiece. But more pressing issues on the field at the moment. Looks like Detroit's coming off. Failed to shake off that knock. He, although he was still limping and put in a bit of a sprint to try to defend there, but he's on the ground now and still got the same grimace he initially had as well. But 4-1, 78 minutes in. You'd think Modbury Jets will start to go on a bit of a defensive mode at the moment.
So it looks like another double substitution coming up for Modbury Jets now that fourth goal has gone in. Daniel Detroit, after copying that knock, is going to come off. He's going to be replaced by number 4, Cameron Tompkins. So Modbury Jets only have that one more chance to make 3 changes if they wish.
Tompkins already called on to do some defending.
Kirk now thought about going with the high foot. In the end, he pulled out altogether and he won the free kick. So just wonder if 4-1 up. I know a few weeks ago that Tim Henderson was only playing around 60-65 minutes due to his groin injury that he did have, and speaking to him last week, he wanted to be right for the tail end of the season, which is why he didn't play last week against Metro. This is probably a lot different game. You know, no offence to Adelaide Olympic, but different scale of game, different intensity of game. Metro Stars have some lightning quick players, and their intricate play is very hard to deal with. So he didn't play last week, but he's obviously going to have to maybe try and play the full 90 here tonight, unless Morris Natali does, you know, give him another minute or two and then bring him off now that it is 4-1, save him for the business end of the season, and of course for that cup final against Campbelltown City in a few weeks. But I'm unsure of the thinking behind it all, but that's just my guess. If I had to put a wager on, I might put a $5 on it that Tim Henderson does come off before the 90 minute. Job is looks like it's just about done for the Modbury Jets tonight, Simon.
Yeah, I think at the moment you probably, or if I was instructing the players from Modbury Jets, it'd probably be to try avoid picking up any knocks at this point. We've seen a couple of big challenges so far, so I think preservation when you're 4-1 up would be a big goal at this point in the game.
Yeah, injury prevention is the key now for Modbury. They don't want to pick up any of those silly injuries, like you said. But they probably want another goal, and here is Schmitzi. That link up between Schmitzi and McCabe, it's almost as good. I don't know if you've seen too much, but Ren Nagamatsu and Christian Satira for Metro Stars have got such good players that just link up. They know where each other are, and here is again Kurt getting involved. This time, oh my goodness me.
It was a funny looking ball, that one. Didn't look like it was anywhere near as soon as it started, but the way it curled in and hit the net just beyond the post there, that was very close. And you're right, two players there that can both be the finishers as well as just carry that ball in, draw the defender, opening up a bit of the space to release the other player. It's a great thing to have two different options that can both finish equally well.
Yeah, Schmitzi on that occasion just wide. It's actually scraped the post on its way past, and it was that close to his 11th of the season.
Will we see them be as generous to each other, though, going forward, given they are both tied up in the same amount of goals so far?
I think they'd have a lot of problems to answer for with their coach if they end up becoming selfish, if you want to use the word. They just link up so well, and obviously their captain, Jesse Francesca, as well, who, as we mentioned, scored 7 goals, hasn't had to pull a worldie out of his pocket tonight, or normally from the penalty spot he's quite potent. McCabe now releases Schmitzi. Is this the chance for Schmitzi? Oh, great work by Cosmo Groff. He came out of his box and had to make contact with the ball. He did, and he's actually whacked it into Schmitzi, and it's gone out for a goal kick. So,
right when we were talking about those same two players linking up again, but that was...
And there's your answer, I think.
Yep. Really brave from Cosmo Groff, though. No hesitation in charging that ball, and had he hesitated, I think that would have been another goal down. It would have been 5-1.
Here is Kone. Can Olympic get something out of this game? It's Polly. Gets his way into the box. He might have a go. He does. Shucks, he's there to deflect it out for a corner.
Polly chooses the short option.
So Polly and Sakani. Polly gets a delivery into the box. Neil comes out again and has to remove Paul Wilson out of his way to claim that one, but he does it nicely in the end.
With a little bit of a head bop.
So Neil puts it down and plays it off the ground and to the position of the camera right here in front of us. McCabe has played very well. McCabe again tonight. Just such quality when he's on the ball. And he's just drifting into a position. I don't understand how McCabe can just drift into a position like that unmarked. It's that movement off the ball, and that's what is the difference between the good teams and the teams that are struggling, is that movement off the ball. You can see here you've got Schmitzi in a high position being marked. McCabe drifts in behind and just sits as a 10 as we see the Modbury Jets go to their bench for the final time tonight. And it's going to be number 16, Christian Miglaccio, former Adelaide Olympic player. And it's going to be no second goal for Francesco Schmitzi, but he won't mind. His team's 4-1 up. He's contributed to one of those goals tonight. So another great effort by Francesco Schmitzi. So Christian Miglaccio comes on for the final 5 or 6 minutes, being heckled over the fence by a couple of Adelaide Olympic people.
You'd expect nothing less.
Well, Kepere's shot that looked like absolutely no trouble almost snuck in under the crossbar, and Neil would end up having to back and take it in his hands.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that one to stay in, but all of a sudden just stopped travelling forward.
Francesca releases Wilson, who now Modbury Jets are just in game management mode, happy just to play the ball around, and here is Miglaccio on the ball. He can't win that one.
We mentioned self-preservation as well, and that's probably the reason why Schmitzi's coming off, but decent shift nonetheless, playing 84 minutes and getting another goal. And
well, I would have lost $5, mate, because I thought Tim Henderson was going to come off and be given some respite. Rest those oldish legs. I won't call him old. I got in trouble last time by Dan Kirk for calling him old. As McCabe looks for his hat trick. Not going to get it on this occasion. Maybe try to do a little bit too much. He hasn't got his partner up there now, so he's like, what am I going to do? He's got to do it all his own. Wilson. That header's won by Tsakani that time, though. Wilson's happy enough just to flick that one over the fence for a throw-in as we approach the final 5 minutes here. Polly. His pass can't find Tsakani, but the deflection gets it there. Kabede dispossessed by Darsam Shuxy, one of those Modbury Jets substitutes that's come on. Polly, again, Shuxy just a pest of the best variety in getting himself in there and winning those balls is what he does best. Darsam Shuxy. Wilson wins that header, but it goes straight to Kone. Can he get a shot away? He's clipped. Referee pays advantage. Probably not much of an advantage unless they score from this, and he has a go. Was Arby Mollis pulling the trigger. Might have been better off with the set piece there.
It was a decent crack from outside, but Neil was more than equal to it. I've just been watching McCabe trying to assess whether a hat-trick seems likely tonight, but I've seen him doubled over with his hands on his knees a second ago, so I think he's pretty gassed out there. But here he goes. As soon as the ball's moving forward, he's ready for another one of his loopy runs.
I'll tell you what he's doing, and this is my opinion, is he's smart. Making out he's tired, his defender goes, oh, he's tired, and then bang, he just explodes, and he's quick enough at the best of times, but imagine if you're just sitting there flat-footed and he takes off.
Here he is.
Again. Can he get into the box and have a go on goal? Puts in another effort. McCabe might even win a corner for his team. We're definitely going to win a throw-in, and he does, and in the end he just pushes over young Marco Muhaho Winimana.
Well, you prove yourself right there. Any signs of fatigue all of a sudden evaporated there, but he seems like the sort of player with his body type. He doesn't have to... He's pretty quick with his feet, but his body's still strong, so he can use that to his advantage a little bit.
So this game is the last of all games this weekend. The last in all three men's leagues, and it's without a miracle. Adelaide Olympic are going to be in that relegation zone for another week, or another couple of weeks in fact, and they're running out of time to get out of it. Can they pull something back from this one? Toriani, the ball nearly falls for him. Jock Wall in the end clears. Adesita wins possession. As I was saying, they're running out of times. They've only got 5 games left after, 6 games, 22 rounds. So we're round 16 tonight. Next week doesn't get any easier. They've got to play, well, as silly as it sounds, they've got to play every team above them except for South Adelaide, which is the only team below them. So you would expect that they've got to win at least 3 or 4 of those next 5 or 6 games and beat either Adelaide United, who are above them. The other team above them is Beargrad. They've already played them twice this season. So really the only team you suspect that they probably can catch is Adelaide United if they keep dropping points. But Adelaide United is a hot and cold sort of team as well, depending what players they bring down or what players play week in, week out.
We've seen him do some pretty risky stuff here tonight, though. Although some of the attacks have been looking really potent. A little bit of sloppiness in defending at times. And on a couple of instances, they've even got out of jail free. So it seems like there's a few things to tighten up.
Sakani tries his luck from distance, But, yeah, I get what you mean. And they just... although it hasn't been their night, they've actually been pretty good when they've been on the ball. It's just been lapses of concentration, and in the end, just the difference between the top and the bottom is putting your chances away. And that's what Modbury Jets have been able to do 4 times here tonight, as Kirk finds McCabe again. And is he going to explode again? He is. But this time he's going to go himself. No, he's not. Finds Wilson. Wilson finds Francesca. Francesca just says, let's just calm it down a little bit. Finds himself some space now. He might have a go again here, Francesca from distance. Yeah, I thought it was deja vu for a second there. Same as what he did last week in that same area, drifted in, and beautiful shot last week, but not to be. Kirk now gets the ball into the box. Cleared by Kabede, and you just see the body language of some of the Olympic players now just really want that final whistle and for this game to be over. Outclassed on the night. Oh, that's great work by McCabe. There's definitely no fatigue factor. And now it's Dion Kirk. Is he going to get a shot away? He does. Ooh. A little bit of a snatch at it, but in the end, it's Modbury just creating another chance on goal.
Fifth one in the 91st minute would be a nice way to finish off the game and kick off the rest of your Saturday night, but not to be. You mentioned before the difference between the two teams and the fact that Olympic, just with a couple of lapses of concentration there and not taking chances. I think the other big difference that we've seen between these two teams is just the way that Modbury's able to regroup and absorb a bit of pressure and just switch up the tempo and control the way things are going, despite having onslaughts from Olympic at times. They've been really good at just slowing down the game, holding possession, and being really patient in looking for opportunities and then exploiting when they do present themselves.
Holly can't find anybody on that occasion, and yeah, you're right, it's just that difference, isn't it? It's the explosiveness of Modbury Jets. And like I said before, it was an interesting one where T-Boy Kamara come off for Olympic because he was one of those players that was creating some sort of explosiveness for Adelaide Olympic in the midfield. There's Polly now. Oh, that's a bit of a high foot. No, referee says play on. Polly has a go. And why not when you fall one down in the 90th minute?
We've got to wonder if Kamara came off
minute
for some other concerns as well to keep him fresh for another game. I can't remember how, were they down 3-1 at that stage or just 2-1?
I think it was 2-1 at the stage,
yeah.
So unsure, but if we look on to, we know the results that have gone not in the favour of Adelaide Olympic, obviously this week, but next week they face Adelaide United, the team we were talking about earlier. So next week is probably, I don't like to say it, but it's their last chance really next week, because if they win next week, they can cut that gap to 2 points. As we hear the final whistle here at Apex Football Stadium, Modbury Jets too good tonight, 4-1 winners over Adelaide Olympic, and as I was saying, next week that game is just massive for Adelaide Olympic, isn't it, to try and get out of that relegation zone. If they win that game, there'll be a 2 point gap between them and Adelaide United, who then come back into that bracket of relegation. But, Simon, it's freezing cold. I would normally have a bit of a yarn on about the game. I think it's time to go home, and maybe we'll do it all again next week or the week after, or whatever it is. There's a few games left, but good that you're in Adelaide now. We'll get you out here and get you involved. But
no, it's a pleasure to be here with you. I don't want to rabbit on too much either, because I can see you're aching for a hot chocolate right about now. But great game. Great game to start the Saturday night and to finish off round 16.
It was, and if you look at those stats on the screen there, Modbury Jets end up with 15 shots on goal, 7 on target. Olympic 9 shots on goal and 6 on target, and like I said, just the difference in quality finishing. But that's enough for us here tonight. It's full time at Apex Football Stadium. Modbury Jets maintain their position at the top of the ladder with a 4-1 victory over Adelaide Olympic. Adelaide Olympic, unfortunately, still in that relegation zone. So it's good night from Apex Football Stadium. We'll see you next week.
Right.